I'll go through and explain how profiles work and how the app deals with profiles, and a few indications to indicate what state we're in. So the first thing we want to understand is that each profile has its own physical file, and in that file are the settings and information about that profile. And all those files are listed here. So this is the preset list, and it lists all the profile files. And what happens is when we select one of our items from that list, or one of the profiles from that list, we're telling the app to read that file and then update its settings with the information it receives from that file. When we pull a shot, what we're doing is we're sending the current app settings to the machine, and the machine will then execute that shot according to those settings. But we're not actually reading the profile file and sending it to the machine. We're just reading the current app settings. So we've got different states there. We've got the profile state here, or the information that's saved to file. We've got the information that's saved in the app, and in this case it's going to be the same because I've just loaded that profile and haven't made any changes. So now we can look at the profile editor, or the wizard, and what we've done is we've loaded this, and all those settings are reflected in the wizard, where we can then go and change those settings. And when we change those settings, we'll get an indication here that we've made changes that are different to the profile file. And in this case, with the de1plus wizard, we've got a message saying tap here to save changes. With the default wizards, you'll have an asterisk. In both situations, it indicates that if you tap in this area, it will update the profile file with the current app settings. And the reason this works better without doing an autosave is that if we want to tweak a profile, we might come in here, make changes like this, then we can go OK, and that's saved it to the app settings. It just hasn't updated the file, the profile file. So now when I pull that shot, these changed settings will be sent to the machine, and the machine will execute that. I can taste that shot, and then come back in here and try and change the settings to something else and do the same thing. I can then pull that shot, and I'm doing it at 7 bar, and I can compare them and determine which settings give me the best tasting shot. And once I've determined which shot tastes best, I can then tap here, and that'll update my profile file with these new settings. If we had an autosave, it would update each time, and the issue that might arise there is that we forget what the original settings were to go back to the original settings. So we might muck around with different settings and then realise that the original profile settings were the best. And in that case, we can just go back to the preset here. We can tap or select that preset, and that tells the app to read that file again, which is done now. And if we go back here, you can see that the settings have gone back to the same settings that are saved to the file. When we make changes here and we go to the home page, you can see that the text changes to red. So if I was to go back to here and load the normal settings, or read the file, the text font is white, but when I go into here and make changes, it changes to red, and that tells us that we have changed, we haven't saved to the file as yet. So it's sent in there, and the inside skin does the same thing. It'll change it to red, and I can show you that. So I'll change to the inside skin, so I just need to bear with me while we restart the app. Okay, you can see that profile title is in red, There is one thing to note here. When that's in red, if I was to tap here, that would actually save these current settings to the profile file, whereas DSX works a little bit different. If I tapped on the profile title, it would take me to the editor. So in this case, I need to tap the settings button, and then if I was to go here, you can see you get the same message saying that we can tap here to update the file. If I go back and load the original, you can see the font goes back to the default font color. And again, if I make changes, it would change that to red. Okay, so if we look at the standard wizard, so I load filter, and I'll make changes to the profile. So here I'll change the flow rate, and you can see this title changed with an asterisk. So I can go back, reset that by tapping here, and you can see there's no asterisk. So as soon as I make a change here, you can see there's an asterisk indicating that we've made changes to the app settings, which are different to the profile file settings. And again, I can go OK, execute that shot, and so forth. Anyway, I hope that explains how profiles work, or how the app deals with profiles. If you have any other questions, happy to give a better explanation for you. Cheers.